Hello, we are here at Meriwether Lewis Campground. Me and my brother are, and all over the place are hiking trails. And I guess it's worth mentioning that Meriwether Lewis Campground is located just outside of Hohenwald, Tennessee. That's Hohenwald, Hohenwald, Tennessee. And it's an absolutely fantastic place. It's gorgeous. I am currently in a place called Stone Hollow. I've been hiking down here for probably 30 minutes or so. Not very long, just kind of taking it slow, because one of the things that I think a lot of people miss are the small things, the little details that truly give a place like this its beauty. I mean, you can see behind me that it's absolutely gorgeous. But there is something just real quick that I wanted to show you that I find personally beautiful. Now, I do have some experience in Middle Tennessee, so I have seen some of the streams and rivers that are really truly an aqua color. The deeper the pool is, the more intense or rich the color becomes. And it must be because of the minerals in the water. That's the only thing I can figure. But so I'm going to turn you around, and I just want you to see, this is one of those little things that when I'm hiking, I stop and I look at things like this, because it's just as beautiful as the whole picture to me. Without little things like this, you wouldn't have the grandiose beauty that you find in woods like this. So check this out. So this is one of those little spots that I was talking about. You know, I'm hiking down the trail, and there's this little cut across the, this is a spring, I believe, that's feeding a stream nearby, one of many in this area. But something this simple, just that partially rotten root structure on this tree right next to this beautiful little pool of water. It's little things like that that really impress me and make me want to keep doing this. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. The Natchez Trace Parkway is a very popular destination in Middle Tennessee, and if I remember correctly, it runs all the way from Louisiana to the upper portions of Tennessee, and that is a long, long way, essentially from New Orleans, you know, and a little past where we are now. But this, where we are standing, is an original portion of the Natchez Trace, which was a conglomeration of trails developed by the Choctaw and Chickasaw Indian tribes, I believe, and as well as some trails from pioneers. And I guess over time, with enough people traveling over this highway, essentially, it was basically the first highway in the United States, or what we now know as the United States. But with that many people traveling up and down through here, you develop this really wide, well-defined trail, and it became useful to everyone. Anyone that was anywhere near it. They used to use it for the transportation of goods. Obviously, lots of people used to travel over this. I just think it's kind of cool that they still have a few portions of the original trace. Who knows how many countless Indians and pioneers and people from all different backgrounds have traveled up and down through here. You know, many died. Meriwether Lewis, which is the gentleman the park is named for, of course, he actually died on the trace. He was on his way back to Washington, D.C. To edit his journals from the Lewis and Clark expedition, essentially, and there is some speculation as to how exactly he died. But without a doubt, at the age of 35, he was much too young to pass away. And so here we are. So last night it started raining, and it rained steadily, not insanely hard or anything, but it was a steady rain all night long, and it's been overcast all morning. I'm assuming it's somewhere around 1 o'clock based on the time I left. And now there's this strange light emanating from the sky, and I'm so glad to see it. There are little pockets of blue sky peeking through, so let's hope that it gets nice and sunny, and that'll give us an opportunity to film some more beautiful stuff. Well, without a doubt, this makes for a very beautiful view. There's no questioning that at all, but that is not the main reason that I am showing you this clip. Behind me is what they call the Old Spring Picnic Ground, and it is absolutely spectacular. You're surrounded by all of this natural beauty, and there are quite a few, looks to be maybe 5 or 6 picnic tables total. Many of them have a grill, if not all of them, nearby. It is easily accessible for anyone, so no matter what your handicap or disability may be, if you would just want to come down and enjoy a meal or just spend some time outside in a beautiful spot, this is a great place to do that. Again, we are at Meriwether Lewis Campground. I'm looking back up the road, of course, and I believe the campground is actually up there somewhere at the top of the hill. But I thought this would be a great thing for everybody to see. If you happen to be in the area, we're just off of the Natchez Trace Parkway. And again, this is the Old Spring picnic area adjacent to Meriwether Lewis Campground. So if you find yourself in the area, do yourself a favor, stop in, check it out, and enjoy some of this absolutely spectacular scenery. It is currently the middle of October right now, so sometime soon the leaves ought to be changing, and to be here for the peak of leaf season would be truly special. So come on out. So this is pretty typical for this part of the country, at least that's been my experience anyway, where you've got a lot of these little streams and creeks, rivers, springs, whatever they might be, that have just been here for so long, they have finally gotten down to stretches of just solid bedrock. And I think that's pretty neat. Some people may not, but oh well, I do. But you can see all of this right here. I don't know how well that's coming through on the GoPro here, but all of what I'm showing you right now is essentially bedrock. And I've actually even seen what I'm pretty sure are fossils sticking out of some banks. Very, very similar to what you see right there, where over time your little waterway here has just carved away and exposed big sections of stone like that. And if you look close enough, I'm pretty sure you'll find some very, very interesting things. So come on out to Tennessee and take a look. It's a beautiful place, and we've met some absolutely fantastic people. Can't wait to continue the journey. So I'm pretty sure those of us that are outdoor enthusiasts have our own little rituals. You've got something that you always do, or you try to always do, and as you can see right now, my face and head are definitely wet. One of my personal things is I love to find a beautiful spot and just get my head wet. You know, if I can, if the weather's appropriate, then I definitely will get in the stream, river, whatever it might be. But if I can't do that, or just don't want to, don't have the time, whatever, I at least splash my head off, and it is literally a spiritual experience for me. I absolutely love being out here, and I just wanted you to see what piqued my interest. And it's really hard for me to tell if it's coming through on the camera like I see it in person here. Probably not, but if I don't try, I won't know. So if you can see behind me, that to me is just gorgeous. And if we spin you around the other way and get you looking down here, that rock shelf right over there is probably 6 or 7 feet high from the water surface. It's kind of hard to tell from here, but that is really, really, really nice spot right there. So I'm gonna go there and look a little closer. So here we are, we're a little bit closer from our last shot, kind of at water level right here. We're going to pan around to that rock outcropping, or undercutting, I should say. Really, really beautiful. And I think I'm going to go stand in front of it to give you a little better perspective as far as height. Hopefully that will give you a bit of perspective, I guess, on what's here. And there are places like this all over this part of the country. And you're hard pressed to walk up or down any spring, stream, creek, river, whatever the case may be, and not find some really, really beautiful stuff. It's just everywhere. I love this part of the country. Man, I wish y'all were here. As a former landscape contractor, student of horticulture, and generally artistic person, that is beautiful. We used to build some of the most awesome water features, and finding truly interesting pieces of stone were like the hardest part. Everybody's got this really smooth stuff, but we never liked it. We always wanted things that looked like this, with tons and tons and tons of character, because you just cannot duplicate this kind of look without some seriously interesting stone. Now, I'm not claiming that you could do this. I mean, it is possible, but it would require massively heavy stones. Just another one of those absolutely beautiful, beautiful little spots. And again, all bedrock, all solid stone. Just a little sand here and there, that's it. But if you have a water feature at your home, or you've ever installed one, designed one, if you're a contractor, hopefully you will understand just how beautiful that is. Alright, so this is just another beautiful spot. I've reached the point where the old spring runs into Little Swan Creek. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm on right now. But I happen to look across the trail and across the stream, and I see this tree here. And I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I either read or watched something, or someone told me, but somewhere I got a bit of information about what these are. And if I understood correctly, these are actually trail markers from the Native Americans. They would bend and break these trees in this way to mark trail. And I always thought that was really interesting, because I've seen these in different parts of the country in random places throughout the woods, or what I perceived to be random, and had never had any idea. I thought it was just some crazy growth habit that occasionally happened. But apparently there is a real story behind it, and it's that they were done by the Native Americans and used as trail markers. And right behind this, it just gets even more ridiculously beautiful. We go over here. That, it's small, but it is gorgeous. I mean, look at that. That is nice. Alright, so just a quick word of advice here for those that may not be familiar with the plants in this part of the country. See this vine on this tree? That is poison ivy, ladies and gentlemen. Some people have no reaction at all to it. Others, it can be life-threatening, but for most people it just causes a very, very itchy, irritating rash of sorts. It causes little raised bumps, and many people scratch them until they bleed. But if you're unfamiliar with poison ivy and you're looking to come to Middle Tennessee or Meriwether Lewis State Park in particular, familiarize yourself with that plant and avoid it at all costs. Don't touch the leaves, the stems, the main trunk on the vine. All of it will give you a nasty itch. And also ticks. That's the other thing about Middle Tennessee. You really, as beautiful as all of this is, in the summertime, it is absolutely infested with ticks, and a particularly devious little kind of tick called a seed tick. They are tiny, hence the name, and they often nest in groups of hundreds or thousands. So if you're familiar with fire ants, You step in a nest of seed ticks, it's going to look very much like fire ants traveling up your leg, except they're going to be tiny, tiny, very hard to remove ticks. My uncle gave me a great piece of advice many years ago. If you're going to be hiking in tick-infested country, particularly this part of the country, carry duct tape with you in your fanny pack, in your backpack. If you got a cargo pocket, put a roll of duct tape in there, because if you step in a nest of these little seed ticks and they begin to swarm over your pants, up your leg, whatever the case may be, rip out a piece of duct tape real quick, get you a long section, and use it to blot the seed ticks off of your leg, your arm, whatever the case may be. Just a word of advice, just a heads up for those that may not be familiar with some of the things in this part of the country. I don't think y'all can understand just exactly how difficult it is for me to have to be here filming this. It's an incredible struggle, and I am so full of crap. This is amazing right here. I was walking down the path, and I heard something. I couldn't see it from the path. And I walked over here to the stream, and this is what I found. That is spring water coming directly out of the side of the ridge, cascading down the rock and into the stream. That's amazing. Check it out. We also got these high rock cliffs right here, which are pretty awesome in the sunlight. Take a little peek around the corner. Even stuff like that. Just the fallen tree. I think that's awesome. It's like a little accent. Oh yeah. Yep. Sorry about the sun there. Let's do that. Just wanted to share that. Hope you liked it as much as I do.